the church promoted schools, hospitals in India, you will find they are all not having any registered document. So such institutions are also eligible to claim their income exemption. There is no restriction, number of case laws are there, though there is no document. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, endowments department, just like our neighboring state Tamil Nadu, the state Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Act manages several temples. So whenever a state government officer is in charge and managing, he is on behalf of the government managing only, but he is not a trustee. He is acting as a trustee in a limited way. He is not the real person who is establishing the ownership. That means every temple is independently liable for income tax. So unless it complies with a 12A registration and then try to file the return and claim the exemption under section 11, the temple is also liable, because though it is a public religious one and managed by the state government. So as I told, non-profit organizations, I am trying to explain you, there are non-profit organizations broadly classified as non-taxable income and taxable income I have classified. So on the extreme left, the non-taxable income, principle of mutuality, as I have explained you, trade associations, professional associations. A word of caution, trade associations, professional associations are on slightly a different footing in the applying the principle of mutuality, because any particular trade, particular professional association, specific services if they are doing to their members professional service, association is doing a professional service, association is doing some commercial service or selling some goods to the members, then though principle of mutuality has to be applied to the extent of the specific services, section 28, the business head charging section says it is a business income. But in case they incur some loss, then section 44 capital A says in case of a principle of mutuality applying, such a trade association, professional association is incurring a loss to the extent of 50% only, they can set off against the other head income. For example, Cloth Merchants Association. The Cloth Merchants Association is having a big complex. It let out the shops to its members. It gets the rent. The rent is taxable under the head house property. And such association bought huge cloth and then sold for less than the cost to members. It got the business loss because it is getting rent. So such a loss under the head business can be set off to the extent of 50% only against the house property head, or if it is having bank deposits under the head, other sources. So that's how trade or business associations are having a different footing in understanding these things. Social clubs, apartment association, cultural associations, say association. So such cultural associations also, if they are rendering only for members some benefit, like say Walkers Association nowadays, you will find Walkers Association only deals with their members, then principle of mutuality will apply. So they need not apply the taxable income, sir. So I will clear the doubts at the end, sir. So the principle of mutuality for non-profit organizations, how it applies, I have explained. Then I am explaining you section 10 exemption. So for several non-profit organizations, limited conditions or without conditions, how the exemption is being given. Local bodies, panchayatis, municipalities, if they are not doing any commercial activity, the statutory, because the constitution itself has vested with them some power to do. So such panchayatis, municipalities, cantonment board, so their income is exempt under section 1020. Research associations are the section 35 recognize research associations, their income is exempt under section 1021. And employees, specific associations for employees welfare, 1023 AAA. The trade unions, if it is under the Trade Union Act, if it is a registered union, it is also a non-profit organization. Its income is exempt under section 1024. As I told you, Provident Fund, Activity Fund, Agriculture Market Committees, their income is also specifically exempted under 1026 AAB. So you are having a coffee development board, tea development board, Spices Development Board, Tobacco Development Board, like that. For them also a specific section is being given. So that's how we are having the 1029A will apply to such institutions. The government promoted boards and authorities under section 1046, they have to apply to the CBTD. As I told you, the government promoted authorities, if they apply to this CBTD for specific notification, then also their income is exempt. So these are all the institutions which are all the public trusts if you come 1023C. So 1023C, for example, Prime Minister's Relief Fund or say Chief Minister's Relief Fund, they are all coming under 1023C. Their income is also unconditionally is exempt under section 10. So now we will come to section 11. In 1023C, as I have told you, just like your section 11 exemption, 1023C subsections are there, several subsections which will give exclusively for education institution. The word used in 1023C, wholly for education, if it is there, then less than 1 crore, more than 1 crore, two different subsections are applicable. Similarly, wholly for medical relief, if it is there, in 1023C, you are having a less than 1 crore, more than 1 crore. That means less than 1 crore without registration, more than 1 crore with a specific registration, they can claim the exemption. And if it is a wholly religious, for example, we are having the famous trust of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, it is enjoying under section 1023C5. That means a public charitable which is having a national importance, then 1023C4, or if it is a religious, 1023C5. So like that under section 10, without going to section for registration, they can enjoy their exemptions, but they are all supposed to file the return of income. For example, as I told you, universities which are substantially funded by the government, like university, UGC grants, they have to file their return of income, though their income is exempt under section 1023C small 3AB. Universities income is exempt, irrespective whether it's above 1 crore or whatever. But they have to file their return. From 1617 Asst. Year, this is the amendment in section 139 4C, subclass E. The amendment made all the universities file their return of income. So this is how the section 10 exemption will work. Now the other section is section 11 exemption. So section 11 exemption, broadly what I would like to suggest, to avail section 11 exemption, the promotion stage itself, drafting stage itself, one has to be very careful. Are they interested in promoting a religious institution or a charitable institution? Because till recently, the application form 10A was not having a column. When you are applying for section 12A registration, you must use the form 10A. 10A is not having a column. Are you a religious institution? Are you a charitable institution? Or partly charitable and wholly religious? A religious dominant with some charitable are you? Now, recently, the form 10A is redesigned and they made it online filing. In that form 10A, they have used now the columns asking you in which category you will fall. What are your main objects? They are asking. Earlier it was not asking. They have modified. Why? Because at the time of application itself, the applicant in which category you are falling, you have. Because while conducting the financial affairs, to your objects, specified objects for which specific registration is obtained, are you applying for your specific object? Then alone, if you permit me, the stress is every year when we are auditing a public charitable or religious institution, the expenditure every rupee, is it falling within one of the objectives? You should specifically, you are having 4 objectives. Write down the 4 objectives in Excel sheet. Every rupee you spend, is it falling in one of the objectives or not? You should specify, because in filing ITR 7, ITR 7 is asking your income classification, it is asking. In a commercial institution, a particular partnership firm or a limited company doing 4 businesses, it is not asking you to give the bifurcation of what is sales income, what is the service charges income, nothing. It is not asking you to bifurcate the income side. Whereas in a charitable institution, ITR 7, your income side is asking you to bifurcation, voluntary contributions, ordinary voluntary contributions, corpus fund donations, specifically you give me. Similarly, in the schedules to this ITR 7, what is your corpus fund balance at the end? Every year you are giving. So, they want to know whether correct accounting indirectly is done or not. Also, it's easy because the ITR 7 is very detailed information it is asking for. So, while auditing itself, unless you segregate this receipt side and the expenditure side, ultimately to fit into this ITR 7, after completing the audit, you will find difficult to upload the ITR 7 because at the time of auditing itself, the data has to be collected in the manner in which it is going to be filled up in ITR 7. So, my suggestion, while drafting the deed itself, in which subsection of section 250 in the definition of charitable purpose you are falling, you please try to ascertain. Section 250 in the definition of charitable purpose is having 6 subclauses: relief to poor, medical relief, education, preservation of environment, preservation of monuments, and the 6th one, advancement of any other object of public utility. The advancement of any other object of public utility is a very big word, whereby what is not specifically falling in the 5 heads, including the recently included yoga, is not there in the specific charitable purpose definition until recently. So, in the case of Rajneesh Foundation, the court held the yoga is a public charitable activity only. Any other object of advancement for public utility, whether music, sports, literature, or the government promoted Swachh Bharat, you form a society to promote the Swachh Bharat. Or family planning, you form a society to take up the cause of propagating family planning. There are of public utility. So, majority of these activities which are not education, which are not, say for example, you want to construct a Kalyana Mandapams and then say at a concessional rate let the people have their married life. Is it a commercial activity or is it a advancement of another object of non-profit activity? So it will come in this advancement of another object of activity. Say for example, the Red Cross activities, Rotary Club activities, Lions Club activities. They all come in this advancement of another object. But this advancement of another object, though it is one of the main clauses of section 215 charitable purpose, is having 2 provisos. This 215, section 2 sub clause 15, 2 provisos are there. What these 2 provisos specifically say? In case such activity is in the nature of trade, commerce or business, and whatever the receipts you have by way of cess, fees or otherwise, the consideration you receive either for the goods or for services, then as per proviso 2, now at present, if such receipts are exceeding 20% of the total receipts of the organization, then that organization, entity, trust, institution is no longer for charitable purpose. For example, Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission prints spiritual literature. So this Ramakrishna Mission literature is sold to the persons who wants to pursue this spiritual goal. So after all, every religion preaches good conduct of the human beings. So unless you preach something, unless you convey, the communication is there. So the communication can be oral or in writing. When they print, they have to sell the books. So when they sell the books, they collect the money. So the consideration now, advancement of the spiritual teaching is for public utility. They are collecting the money. Thereby, if such collections exceed Now the basic question is not the money. Is it part of trade, commerce or business? The word trade, commerce or business definitely say some sort